What's going on, guys? So, one thing real quick. This is the Halo motherboard, Halo 3 edition 360 motherboard. So we've got this is a 200 watt power supply. We got plugged into it right now, even though it's a Falcon. So I'm gonna leave the HDMI unplugged. I just want to show you guys. Got the TV on here. This is our old crappy TV. And by old and crappy, I mean it's like the color's totally gone on it. We've had it for like 8 years. So you can see, turns on, the disk drive does the thingy, the proper noises. I guess it isn't going to do the sequence unless the HDMI is plugged in. There we go. You can see it just has this, so that's not good. And then it'll eventually just kind of fade out and go away to a black screen and then say no signal. So, yeah, I don't know. And I tried to do a fix on it. I read one of those things where you just like hold the button down and it's something with the output of the video. I've inspected the whole thing. I've tried using the heat gun and everything, and I don't know. It's just not putting out video. So I went ahead and already ordered another 360. It's actually an Elite. I've been really good at finding good deals on Elites. It seems like the black Xbox 360s, a lot of people own them who know nothing about Xboxes and just sell them as is. This one I actually found from, not this one, the Elite that I found has the 120 gigabyte hard drive. It was $30 with free shipping. I actually got it off of the Kalamazoo Goodwill's eBay page. At least that's what it's advertised as. It says it benefits charity and everything. So, yeah, they were super helpful. They sent me the pictures, so a clearer picture of the power plug, so I can make sure it was a Falcon. And it's missing a faceplate, and it says that the disk drive is broken. It doesn't look like anything's actually damaged. It's just missing the faceplate, and I assume that it's just jammed, like every other system. And I had them send me a picture of the hole there to make sure that it had the BenQ drive. That way, for the eyeball Xbox, we can just swap our case over that has the sticker bomb on it already, and make sure that that disk drive is just jammed, and we'll clean it out and everything. If not, I can just swap the motherboards, and we'll have another working system. I'll also have an extra 120 gigabyte hard drive, even though those aren't, the hard drives for the old ones aren't really worth much anymore, but hey, another good deal. If I can get that other one that's in the eyeball Xbox to still work with the original heat sinks, I'll probably just sell it. I'll put it all back together as like a stock Xbox and just kind of sell it as is for, I don't know, 30 bucks maybe, see if I can get my money back for buying another Xbox. So then we'll get right back into the eyeball Xbox. However, today we are actually going to continue on the Xbox One S. I already wasted a few minutes on the other Xbox, but we're going to set that aside just for a few days until that other motherboard comes in, and then we'll swap everything over, inspect everything, clean it up, make sure it's good. And then this one, once again, I don't know, I'll probably just put a case on it and sell it as, again, for, I don't know, 20 bucks or so. And just sell it as a Xbox that turns on but has no video. Maybe somebody else will want to mess with it. I'm trying to finish up these Xboxes so we can, one, finish the 1S, the eyeball, get to the other PSP, and then hopefully I have a few people ask me about systems that they have that they want to send me and get custom painted and stuff. So I want to get these other systems out of the way first. And then I also have the other Red Ring of Death Xbox fix that was the non-HDMI that already has a water block on it and stuff, and I kind of started a video of that several weeks ago. All I need to do is order another pump, and I already have the extra reservoir, I have an extra radiator. I'll probably do a quick build series on that one. And then once that one and the eyeball one's done, we'll definitely sell at least one of those. We'll see which one exactly. Probably the eyeball. I know everybody likes that one. And then we're definitely selling the 1S. So yeah, anyway, let's get into the 1S. We got to do the pump, so let's do that. Alright guys, back to the Xbox One. So, first things first, we're going to be using this pump, and I do still think this would be a budget, sort of, not really. I mean, pumps, there's just no cheap option unless you want one that might not last. It's from China, may or may not work. Anyway, I mean, most of the stuff's probably already from China anyway. But so anyway, these bottom pumps you can get for about $60, maybe 55 to 60. This is a Alpha Cool, yeah, DDC pump. You can buy just the bottoms from Mod My Mods or through Amazon. It's kind of the same. So we're still going to remove this acrylic top, and we're going to put our other one on. So between this pump and I believe this top is around 20. Like I said, when I'm doing a final assembly, I'm going to have actually show the list of the parts. But basically, yeah, the pump's going to be around $100, and that would probably include this reservoir. This is like a little 50 millimeter, I think. It of course comes with the other end, but we're taking that off. So between this, the top, and the pump, it's probably going to be about $100 for that. But like I said, our water block was just under 20, I believe, and oh, our radiator was also like $12. So that being said, those are the main components. That's still pretty cheap for parts. And then like I said, I'm not including any cost of tubing since I just have a whole bunch of extra tubing, which I bought a long time ago for different projects. And this is just a leftover from that. So I'm not really including the cost of that. And again, I'll have a separate cost for the system itself, which will include the controller and the case, and then the separate cost for the components. But anyway, first things first, we gotta take this old top off. Like I said, I could just use this one and still use this reservoir anyway. That wouldn't really change the price. But I don't know if you can still get this top. You probably can, and it's kind of old, kind of died from old fluids and just kind of scratched up. So we're actually going to use this top, either this one, I have another one just like it that's black, and we'll use one of the two for the other Red Ring of Death Xbox that I had. That'll be a little down the road. Anyway, just focus on this one, Carson, just focus on this one. So first things first, remove these 4 screws in the bottom. That's what's holding the top on. It also kind of holds this bottom piece on. Now it's worth noting that this top also came with a shielding to go around it, but I think I'm just going to use this one that I already have because it's a little bit smaller, and I kind of think it'll fit right between here. If not, we might have it above the hard drive. We'll get into that. Anyway, let's remove the old top. Okay, so pump should come with its own O-ring. This is going to come with an O-ring. It looks like this one's a little bit smaller than the one for the pump, so I'm assuming this is what goes in the top, because you still need an O-ring when you're screwing this in. There's probably more parts in here. It's got mounting screws. Like I said, it's got the shield, and it has the bottom piece to the shield. You can see there. And there's probably another O-ring down there as well. I'm already going to use this one because this is a UV blue. Mine as well. Now this pump top has places to put LEDs, so it'll actually light that up. But yeah, now we're going to go ahead, pop on this top here, make sure this all fits good. It looks like it'll go this way. And it doesn't really matter the orientation. You can see the pump is literally just an impeller there. Just going to go ahead and screw this on, make sure that's all good, and then we'll put the reservoir on. Got the 4 screws back in. You can see got our gap cleared up there. That looks really nice. Now this was shipped straight from China. It is still a very nice pump top. Freeze mod, it looks like, but this was from Amazon. And actually on the pump I've got the info here. It's an Alpha Cool Lang DDC 12 volt 10 watt. You can see here this has just been cut off. This had a separate connector. That's in order to connect it to, like, if it's actually going to PC and you're adjusting the speed. I've never worried about that in these builds. I just connected it to 12 volts. As you can see here, I believe this was a 4-pin and I just have it connected to a 3-pin. So yeah. Alright, now let's go ahead and put the reservoir on to make sure that fits. Okay, we put that clear O-ring that came with the pump top, and we've got this screwed in nice and tight. I'll probably use the other end to this reservoir, which is somewhere over here. I'll come across it. Anyway, oh, here it is. Bam. So you could also reuse the O-ring that's inside of here. It's going to be the same size, but this has a clear one, and that probably looks better anyway. So this one just has the one port. This has two. We'll probably leave this on top. This is actually also freeze mod, which is nice. That's probably why it fits in there. And then they have different sizes, but I like the short one. I don't want it, it's going to stick straight out, so I don't want it to be too tall. So you can see if the pump is inside the system somewhat, it's going to stick out about that tall, which will probably again be about the size as our radiator and fan. Now normally, like in the other build, I had the fan and then the radiator. I just thought that looked a lot cleaner. I know I had lots of comments of, oh, put another fan on top or blah blah blah. No, I did everything for a reason. And that's because, one, it looked just way cleaner, and having a spinning thing on top, just like I do on the PS3 water cooled, you know, it's just, you're gonna bump into it or something like that. And even on that one, I would like to get some kind of fan grill on it or something. But anyway, the reason this fan will be on top is because you know, this one has LEDs and it displays words and stuff like that, so that's the whole point. So that's gonna be right about there with our pump either in front of it, like I said, or yeah, we'll get into that. And then I'd also like another fan. This is a little 40, just on like the side over here somewhere, so it's another sort of intake. That way it makes sure, instead of all the air going straight down and out through the power supply, which is what we need, we at least have some more kind of airflow going around here. Yeah, we'll see if that works out. So we've got this taken care of. Now what we need to do is we're going to actually install the water block today, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and mess around and make sure this is the exact orientation I actually want it, or if I want it to be facing this way. Like I said, I think I want the pump here where the ports are going this way. Now with this pump top, that means we don't need the inlet. That's what this one is, because this is the inlet. This is where we will add the fluid, and this is where the water will return. And you can see I already have a diversion fitting there, so instead of it just shooting straight down, since it's a small reservoir, it's going to shoot it down to the side. That way it's not just going straight in and causing air bubbles. Yeah, so now it should look pretty nice because it's silver, clear. So yeah, let me figure that out, and then we're going to take all this stuff back out and get our thermal paste on there and get this mounted on here. I got to take the plastic off the bottom, and this one, just like the other mounts on the other Xboxes, you can see, you know, I got to use the screws that come with it. So I have the same water block on the Slim, and I kind of just had to tighten them all around in an equal fashion without them being too tight or one of them being tighter than the other. That'll cause the board to warp a little bit. So you just have to keep going one by one until it feels snug on there. You know the water block's not going to move while you're messing with fittings and tubing and stuff like that. And now that I look at this, I probably won't have it go this way just because of these capacitors. As you see on the back side, there's nothing there blocking it. So we'll probably just do that, and there's still plenty of room to get 90-degree fittings on there. So yeah, let me go ahead and double check how I want this sorted out, and then we're going to put on our water block. Okay guys, alright, so on second thought, we're not going to do that right now. I forgot, just like the other one, it came with these really long screws, just super unnecessary. So you can see it'd be like that. It would actually stick out taller than the water block, which would definitely be a problem with putting the pump right there. And Ace Hardware closes in like 10 minutes, so I'll have to go there in the morning. Basically, I just bring this with me and find the same screws, except like half the length. Otherwise, it comes with everything else: springs, washers, 2 different kinds of, these kinds of nuts, and the regular kind that you can screw together. Probably use these because I just pretty much do it finger tight almost. I mean, a little tighter than that, but you know what I mean. So, I feel like this video is already pretty long. I know we didn't really do much, but hey, we got our pump together. This is how our water block will be. Our pump will be right front and center there. We'll have a 90-degree on the out. That's just going to go straight down. And then probably right, let's see if we can balance that right there. This is another part of the build. This was a $10 thing off Amazon also. Most of this stuff you should be able to just get on Amazon. So, I mean, besides the console. So if you're looking straight down, we'll probably have this right here, right next to the 90. Although we'll have to see how far down the pump actually sits. Maybe that'll just block. It might just block that. So I don't know. We'll find a better spot for it, I think. But yeah, essentially this will sit right here. I mean, not directly on there, like right about there. So we'll have a cutout in about right here for that to stick out. And I don't know, there should be enough room next to it. We have the 90 right here. There should be enough room to have the temperature display there. And then we, like I said, we'll have the, let me grab it, the radiator right next to it. And how I had it last time, I had the inlet and outlets going into the side of the console here. I don't know, we'll have to figure that out because it's going to have to go straight down and then it'll go. I guess we could have the radiator upside down and maybe we'll have enough room to go a 90 straight down, go into our radiator, and then go out of the radiator into the water block, and then out of the water block, and it'll either just pop up back here straight up and feed back into our reservoir. Yeah, I don't know, we'll have to figure that one out. Now the reservoir I had on the other build was huge, and like I've explained in other videos, you really want a lot of volume of water. The more water you have, the cooler it's going to be. But I mean, the other build I had, which obviously had a bigger radiator also and a bigger reservoir, I mean, it literally stayed at, if you're talking Fahrenheit, maybe 100. I'm pretty sure that one was, I mean, it was probably like 30, 35 degrees Celsius on the temperature display, which is incredibly cooler than stock. Like I said, the Xbox One S's, or just the Xbox Ones, you know, they don't really suffer from heating problems or anything. So this is pretty unnecessary, but hey, it's cool. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this one here. I'm gonna go get the other screws tomorrow morning when they open, and we're gonna mount this in place. And obviously I'm not mounting any of this other stuff permanently yet, so, and I don't want to put anything else back in until we kind of have the wiring figured out. So our temperature display has to be 5 volts. I remember hooking that to our hard drive. The hard drives always have a 5-volt cable, so we'll do, these might actually be colored on this one. Yeah, perfect. So, you know, black ground, we'll splice that one. And I'm pretty sure the yellow is 5 volts. It might be the red, it might even be the blue. I don't know. I usually go back and watch my own videos just to make sure I do it right. So that's going to be wired to there, and then we're probably going to take 12 volts from, I would say, maybe our DVD drive for the pump. So we'll splice in a 3-pin connector, and then the fans we will connect to our original, I think this is our original fan connector here. Now I might switch that, I might do the pump to the fan and everything else, the fans to this, but I just want to do it exactly how I did it last time. I might have even just spliced into the power supply wires themselves, so I'll have to double check that. But yeah, next video we'll pick that up, go into the wiring, and then basically from there we just have to figure out exactly where that pump's going to sit, mark out what we need to cut out on our top case, and then we'll get it painted and put all back together. Should be pretty simple. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe.